So, Renee, did you know that 78% of women say they have faked an orgasm?
Yes. What? Of course they have. I'm surprised that's not higher. The rest are lying.
Yeah, that's women say they faked an orgasm. Because you can't actually prove how many people have.
That's true. I bet you... Can you imagine they were going up to them in the street and being like, "Excuse me, miss, have you ever faked an orgasm?" Most of them probably just laughed and carried on walking. I feel like it's higher than 78.
I agree.
So you're listening to No Sex in the City. I'm Renee.
I'm Helen.
And every week you will be joining us as we talk about pop culture, peen, and everything in between. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at NoSexPod.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your feedback. Good or bad? Good.
Yeah, good. Good stuff. Good stuff.
We'd love to hear if you're not having sex as well.
Let's start a movement.
Let's get this sisterhood going.
So yeah, let's get into it. What's going on this week, Helen?
So Renee, before we dive into our favourite pop culture, it's come to my attention that you are maybe using this podcast to get out of dates. I hear you've had a couple of dates lined up, and then I said, let's record the podcast, and you've decided to do it on the same day as your dates.
Well,
why are you cancelling all these dates?
Well, what had happened was, no, to be honest, like, I have no actual justification for cancelling these dates, but I think I get really shy. I'm not good at dates. I'm really not good at dates. I'm painfully shy.
Are you?
Yeah. When it comes to boys, I'm just like, And I find it so awkward, the thought of going somewhere and just meeting someone you've just spoken to online. I'm just a bit like, I just think it's really weird and I'm scared. I'm like, are they going to murder me? And if they don't murder me, are they going to see me and be like, ugh? Or are they going to be like just not happy with my, I don't know. I can't. It's too much pressure for me. I can't deal with it.
Okay.
I know, that's so lame.
Also, haven't you been propositioned?
What do you mean?
Well, I've heard that a couple of gentlemen have asked whether we'd have to change the name of the podcast if you got laid.
I think they were just general questions. I'm not sure they were specifically aimed at me. Helen.
For everyone asking, we're not going to change the name of the podcast if we get laid, but you might be some juicy content for us.
We're the Taylor Swift of podcasts.
So now to the pop culture.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, something I noticed today was old Liam Payne and Cheryl are getting back into the news as they always are and have been gushing about each other quite a lot. They're obviously very happy together. They got a little kid. That's good for them. But Renee, I want to know, how old would you go and what's your attitude on, kind of age gaps in couples?
Yeah, they have got quite a substantial age gap, haven't they? I think probably as they get older, you probably look at them and think, well, the age gap isn't too significant. But as it stands, if you look at how old Cheryl was when she was a judge on Pop Idol or X Factor, whatever it was it X Factor?
Yeah.
Yeah, X Factor. And then what Liam looked like when he auditioned, it makes you just, it's a bit like, ooh, it does make you think of it, it's a bit awkward. But I'm kind of one that stays near my age range. I've gone out with a guy that's 2 months older than me, one that's a couple years older than me, and that's it.
Do you go younger? Cougar? You a bit of a cougar?
Yeah.
How young have you gone?
I don't know, like late 20s. Yeah, like only a couple years younger.
Oh, that's fine.
But it's not really worked out that well for me. Hence why I'm here. But it's odd. I find that with younger guys, they're looking for a mother, and I'm not about that life.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reason people get a bit heebie-jeebie with the Liam and Cheryl thing is because obviously she met him when he was 14, which is not the legal age.
Yeah.
I think maybe, people are funny about age gaps, but in this instance, it makes everyone a bit like, whoa. I'd say I'm not that funny about age gaps. I don't know if that's because there's quite a big age gap between my parents. There's about a 12-year age gap.
Oh, that's quite substantial. That's big.
Yeah.
So what?
She was the secretary.
Dirty. I love it. What's your age range?
Helen. I've gone older.
How old?
Like, enough.
What does that mean?
So when I was 25, I slept with a 50-year-old a couple of times.
That makes me feel a little bit sick.
Yeah, old enough to be my dad vibes.
That's not
But can I say in my defence, so I'm 26 now and my dad is in his 70s. And I think that definitely plays in it in my head that I'm like, oh, because he's not old enough to be mine. Because quite often the thing people say is like, oh, they're old enough to be your parent. And I'm like, no, you're still a whole 20 years younger than my dad.
But that's because your dad's like
old. You can say it.
He's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
How was no? We're not moving on from this. How was dating this older man?
I wasn't really dating. I'd say we just knew each other and it was kind of a casual thing. I mean, he always smelt really nice. I don't know whether that was,
Like Old Spice. I don't know.
Covering up the stench of age. I mean, like, skin is looser and saggier.
Oh, Helen, I can't.
Hair is, grayer.
No.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd go back.
But you did. You did go back a few times. It wasn't a one-night thing.
No, that's true.
So right now, in this moment of your life that you're in, what is your ideal dating age range?
So I'm 26. I don't think I go younger, just because I find that, obviously it's massively generalising, but if guys are younger, they seem to be a bit more immature.
Yes, so that's what I found too. It's like not cool.
So even guys my age, I'm a bit... So ideally I want a little bit older, not too old. I mean, I'm 26, so, between 28 and 40.
40?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't mind the age gap.
But don't you think that I think, this is again a hugely sweeping generalisation, that a 40-year-old is in a different stage of life than you are now.
That is true. What's your age range then?
I think probably, because like I mentioned before, that I found that younger guys, they tend to... I don't like to have to do everything. I would really, in a dream situation, like a relationship that's 50-50. So we're both either coming up with ideas to do stuff, or it's like, so I'd say, oh, let's go to this bar, and then they'd be like, yeah, that's fun, like I'll sort that out, but vice versa. So it's not all relying on one person, which I have found in the past that is the case with younger guys, that they seem to just be sat there going, oh yeah, I'm gonna just watch the football, and you're like, okay, so do you want to do this, do you want to do that? Yeah, okay. And it's just like, excellent. And it's not fun. I don't think that's what a relationship should be. But then again, I think an older guy, I don't know, because I've never dated an older guy. I think that his priorities would be different, because they're more likely to have kids, they're more likely to have bigger responsibilities. But then thinking about it, the responsibilities a 40-year-old might have would be that much different to mine, apart from offspring.
Yeah, I guess it depends where you're at in your life. I think the thing with an age gap is it can be quite exciting, and you can maybe like the idea of each other more than the actual reality.
Oh, I feel getting such an insight into you right now. I can see you can't see your little Helen's little face lighting up. The thought of an older gentleman.
But the thing about age gaps, obviously I feel that, people are always kind of passing judgment on age gaps, but something that does annoy me, and it's happened with Cheryl and Liam, and it also happened with the French president Macron. Am I saying that right?
I assume so, because whenever I read it as I can't even... macaroon.
That's a delicious dessert.
A delicious snack.
It's kind of the double standards in age gaps. So if a woman's older, I think people will tend to be a lot more judgmental and a bit like, almost like, what's wrong with him that he's going with an older woman type thing.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the age gap between Macron and his wife is the same age gap between Donald Trump and Melania.
But you think it's a reflection on him as opposed to a reflection on her?
No, I think that's what society thinks. I think society has a bigger problem with an older woman and a younger man.
Yes, but I would agree with that, but I think that the issue is that when there's an older woman and a younger guy, what's wrong with her that she can't get someone her own age?
Yeah, or almost like, other women judging a bit angry that like a hot young guy's been taken off the market.
Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I do.
I think that I always get the impression that when it's the age gap is the woman that's older, is that they think that they can't do anything, they can't get a guy, so they mother someone. They'll get someone that they can control, and it's a reflection on their personality.
Well, that's how you feel about it, or that's what you think society thinks?
That's what I think society thinks.
Probably. But I'm like, get it, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, Macron's wife is beautiful and
Yes,
he's very good looking as well.
Yeah. Have you got a thing? Well, we know you've got a thing for older men, so...
And also, I think the thing with age gaps is, you know, it's kind of maybe because it just happens more, but when the woman is younger and the man is older, it's a bit like, oh, we all kind of know how this is working out for everyone. And like, you know, obviously I'm massively generalizing, but it's usually like a pretty younger woman who's kind of getting maybe a nicer lifestyle by dating an older man.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why people get confused when it's the other way round.
Because they assume that the woman can provide a lifestyle of such grandeur that a young man would forget his single life to be a part of. And that is not the case. We can provide if we choose to. Which I don't.
But yeah, no, I definitely think, you know, in a relationship, I do think it should be equal. And I know I've gone older, but that was more kind of like a hot night or two. You know, I think for a relationship, I'm not going to go that much
translate, older. Helen said hot night or two. I mean, I'll give it a go because, like I said, the guys that I've dated in the past that were quite young, I've not been nice guys. So... They've not turned out to be able to be the support system that you'd need or you'd ideally look for in a relationship. So,
and you think that's directly because of their age?
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't think they've had the life experience to be able to think like if they've gone straight from uni, straight from their parents' house to uni, back to their parents' house, and then they're out in the free world. I don't think just running wild with their penises everywhere, getting into relationships willy-nilly. Like, I don't think that they have the mental capacity to be considerate because they've always had stuff done for them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah, like they've gone from being looked after by their mums to them being looked after
by a university.
Yeah, and then by a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I do think that relationships in general, though, are getting more equal. But even I have friends and they live together and, like, still the girl cooks every night and they both have pretty hard jobs and work 9 to 6.
See, I do think that there's things that society puts on a relationship that forces us to take certain roles. So, for example, if I remember with one of my exes, if we were both invited to something, I would be given the invitation. And it'd be sort of my responsibility to arrange us going to this event or RSVPing for the event or whatever. And it's not, that's not, why is it my responsibility? Like, we can both do this. We're both adults. We are both able of getting our shit together to attend an event or not. So, you know, stuff, weird little things like that people don't necessarily do on purpose or to show any form of malice or anything like that. But it's just how society works. And I think that's really weird. I'm not sure if we'll ever get out of that.
Yeah, I agree, unfortunately. But yeah, so to conclude, if there's any, you know, men in their early 30s who are looking for an equal relationship and to share the cooking, get in touch.
Early 30s, darling? Didn't you just say 40 odd? Come on.
Brutal.
Expand that age range.
We'll get in touch.
At No Sex Pod.
So do you want to talk about Dr. Foster?
I do very much so. Did you watch all of it?
Spoiler. Should we do a spoiler alert?
Yeah. That sounds like the Game of Thrones theme song.
It's a siren.
If you haven't seen Dr. Foster and you're planning on watching it, just pause the podcast for a little while.
But come back.
But realistically, you probably should just listen because it's like
Call
Gogglebox.
yourself a fan. It went out last night. 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. What on earth were you doing?
I actually rushed home to watch it.
Unless you're watching Bake Off, that's okay. Because I know now it's got ads, it runs till 9:15. It's a real middle class challenge.
What did you think?
What to watch on a Tuesday night?
What did you think of Dr. Foster?
The ending wasn't what I expected. Obviously with the spoiler alert, with the son running away, my kind of interpretation and takeaway from that was like I think what the show was trying to say, that if you try and destroy an ex-partner, you end up just destroying yourself in the process. And so she thinks she's doing all this stuff for her son. Well, a little bit she thinks she's doing it all for her son, and then she ends up losing him.
Yeah, the whole time I actually ended up crying on my sofa with my flatmates.
Did you?
Yeah, because I felt so bad. Because, to be fair, Tom was a little shitbag in the start, in the early episodes of this season and the first season.
What do you mean? What do you mean he's a shitbag?
Well, I think he was quite disruptive and he was quite rude to his mother. I'm from a West Indian household, so if I ever spoke to my mum the way that he spoke to his, there's no way my teeth would remain in my mouth. Like, I'm not even joking, because I was watching it like, you're rude. You're very rude. But I see that quite a lot on British TV shows, like Peppa Pig. She's rude.
It's difficult being a teenager. You've got so many hormones and emotions running through your body.
Yeah, but you're still not rude to the people that created you. Like, come on, get it together. Anyway, he was pretty rude. But then I think what was really clever about the show is that how we were so focused on Dr. Foster and Simon that we actually weren't paying attention to the son. And the whole time, I thought it was great how they're just continually going back and forth on each other. And poor Tom, he's having to deal with the whole situation that he's got nothing to do with it. He's like, no blame. He's taken no responsibility for it. He's done nothing wrong, but he has to sit there and be a pawn in this situation, which I think that's what killed me at the end when I thought he had died and was just like, and I didn't blame him.
It was really well done when she runs to the motorway.
It was awful. And I felt like a shit person, even though I wasn't a part of the show, obviously. But I feel so emotionally invested in it that I thought that, oh God, I as a viewer, I didn't even think about Tom. And here he is. Now he's run away. I'm never going to see him again. He's left his phone. How is he going to Snapchat? He's clearly broken. Well, you wouldn't leave your phone. Instagram stories is lit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't what I expected at all. But what's so clever about that show is even like within the hour episode is how you don't really know whose side you're on. Neither one will give up. They just are intent on destroying each other.
There's complete tunnel vision, isn't it? They have to win, and they're not thinking about anything else.
Oh, the poor teacher that she dates.
I'm sorry. I can't.
I felt really sorry for him.
Yeah, it was really funny when she's like, it's not working
Tom's
out.
Right.
You're going to have to leave. And then he goes, I'll stay here in case he calls. And she goes, thanks. And you're like, what? Did you not just dump him? Bless him. See, that's the kind of support we're looking for, guys.
I feel really sorry for the scene when Tom can hear his parents his separated parents having sex.
It must be such a mind fuck for him. Yeah. It's not okay. Just, you don't know what's going on. But what I really enjoyed is the whole point is you don't know. You think she's being crazy, and the amount of times people were like, she's been crazy, especially in the first season, and she's not being crazy. And I think this is one of my absolute bugbears, and I said this to my flatmates last night, that the way that she did do some odd things, but the way that women especially are called crazy when they express their emotions with stuff that's happened in a relationship is not okay. Imagine you had a couple and you suspected your partner was cheating on you, so then you started like having a look on their Facebook, or they kept promising things and then not delivering. And if you weren't in a relationship with that person and you were just friends, and you had a friend that was constantly letting you down, saying, yeah, I'll do this, yeah, I'll do that, and they just didn't, and you saw them gallivanting with other people, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing? And you'd confront them and nobody would think you were crazy for it. But if it's...
Yeah, that's spot on. People would actually probably, respect you for it and be like, good, you told her it how it was.
But as soon as it's a couple and the woman's, especially if it's a woman, says, I think he's cheating on me, or he used to be like this, but he's not like that anymore, people will say, calm down, love, you're crazy, or she's psycho. And there's nothing that infuriates me more than somebody saying, oh, she's crazy. I'm like, is she crazy or are you just a dick?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the show's portrayal of women isn't very flattering. If you kind of think of the three female lead characters, it's like Dr. Foster.
What's her name? What's her character's name?
Dr. Foster.
No, but what is it? It's not Susan. What's her name?
Susan's the actress.
Yeah, that's what I can keep thinking.
I think Simon's hot.
I'm like, what's her name? They said it a million times. Anyway, Dr. Foster.
Her name is Dr. Foster. Yeah, so obviously she's kind of, like you say, portrayed as this crazy wife in the first series who's suspicious or knows her husband's cheating on her but isn't going around the right way about, sorting it out. Not that there ever is a right way. And then in the second series is portrayed as the crazy ex-wife who can't let go. And then, so the other characters are obviously Amy? No, what's she called? God, I've got mind blank. So
just the bit on the side,
yeah,
or the one across the road.
Yeah, no. So actually, you're right. The 4 characters. So the one that the dad runs off with, the younger girl, who I think's called Amy. If she's not, I apologise. As you can tell, I'm a massive fan of this show.
But isn't that a testament to the show that it kind of doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter who these players are. They are just pawns in one big game that is the relationship.
Yeah, Simon.
Yeah. And Mrs. Foster.
That's very
Dr.
true.
Foster.
So the bit on the side is like, oh, you've had an affair with a married man, which many people would think is wrong. And then her friend Ross, who's the doctor, who's supposed to be her best friend in the first series,
hate her.
Knows about the affair and keeps quiet. Like, what?
And then she's just like,
not cool.
It was when she goes to her, when Dr. Foster goes to Roz, I think she's having an affair, and she's like, no, don't be stupid, he'd never do that. And then goes and nah, I don't know how she remained friends with her.
Yeah.
That trust would have been gone out the window. Like, what?
Yeah. Has a friend ever majorly betrayed your trust when it comes to guy issues?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, Oprah. No, so...
Tell me about it, darling.
So
Spill the tea.
I had a
hot tea.
I had a friend. She's actually a really good friend of mine now. I missed her loads. But I'm going to tell this story, but I love you anyway, babes, if you're listening, which I know you are. So the guy that I lost my virginity to, we were going out
He's becoming a right little regular feature on this, isn't he?
Let's talk about virginity. I broke up with him because, like I said, I wasn't that into it. When you like someone but then you kind of don't like them anymore, and that's what being young and dating is about. It's whatever. So I thought I was quite nice about it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We broke up. He was at university with one of my best friends at the time, like best friend, and that's when I met him.
Yeah.
So we broke up and it was fine, and I was still in Ipswich in my gap year, just working away.
You don't show yourself as you had a gap year to find themselves.
Oh my God, I definitely didn't have a gap year. I just had a gap year to earn money, which you guys all know because you had the teaser. And yeah, so one of the rest of our group of friends went up to visit my other friend and at the uni where my ex was at, and they were like, oh, there's a lot of flirting between this friend and the ex. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I asked her, and I was just like, is something going on with you and the ex? And she was like, no. I was like, okay, well, I mean, you could tell me if there is, because I don't, I'm not offended or whatever. I'm not into it. It's fine. And she's like,
have my leftovers.
No, it wasn't even like that.
I think it's never like that. I think people just say, oh, you can have my leftovers. It's kind of like a cover thing, isn't it? Yeah.
But I honestly was not bothered. And then she said, and she went, no, I'd never do that to you. No, of course. And I was like, okay, fine, carried on with my life. A few months later, whatever, she comes around my house and I'm like, hey, babes, how you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. And she's like, I've got something to tell you. And I'm like, what? What, is a new special at Nando's? What's going on? And me and the ex are together. I went, what? And she went, yeah, I just wanted to let you know. And I went, get out. And she was just like, okay. And she left. And I didn't speak to her again.
For how long?
Until, about a couple of years ago.
Did she try and get in touch? Did she try and apologise?
I can't even remember, to be honest. She might have even apologised on the night. But it wasn't even that. The issue I had with it wasn't because she'd gotten with him. Because, like I said, I wasn't bothered about him. It was the fact that she lied to me.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with somebody lying to my face. If you have an issue or if there's something going on, just be honest. And I know this is me putting my, what's the word? Like, I kind of phrase it, like putting my being or my attitude onto others, and that's not normal. I can't expect everyone to behave like I do, because that would be a world of ridiculous people and we'd all probably, like, I don't know, we'd barely function. But I always think that if I have to lie about something, I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And I will always tell the truth, unless it's my mum going, oh, did you go on a date? Yeah. Did you sleep with him? No.
No, we just stayed up all night and spoke about our feelings and favourite pastimes.
No, we just went for a drink and now I'm at home. So that's what got me. I was just like, why would you lie? There was no reason for you to lie. And once the trust is gone, I don't care if it's within a relationship or if it's a friendship. That's it.
Yeah.
You're done. So I didn't speak to her for a long time.
Damn.
I know, that's a vibe killer. Now I feel really bad for talking about it, because
No, I asked you.
she's a really nice girl.
She
We're
can
like
come
back
at
in
me.
touch now, and we're like,
People do
homies.
bad stuff. I mean, I'm kind of don't know where I sit on this. Like, I don't think you should lie, but in terms of getting with a friend's ex, you know, I think the person who's the ex will always be like, there's so many guys, why do you have to go for him? But you can't help your feelings. But I also definitely think that people get off a bit on, like, what's forbidden.
Well, you can help your feelings. Well, you can't help your feelings, no, but you can help your actions.
Oh my God, have you seen the film Closer?
No.
Oh, it's such an amazing film. You should see it. It's Clive Owen, Jude Law, Natalie Portman, Julia Roberts. Just the beautiful people having sex. You should watch the film for that. And it's got so many great lines in it. And one of the best lines is Natalie Portman's with Jude Law and finds out that he's been having an affair with Julia Roberts' character. And she's like, everyone has a moment, and I can give in to this, or I can resist.
Yeah.
And I don't know when your moment was, but I'm sure as hell you had one. And I think it's such a good line, and it's so spot on, like you say.
You nailed it. You know what you're doing. Like, even when I'm wasted and I don't even know my name, I still am aware of what I'm doing at that moment in time.
Yeah.
That's not... So I don't think there's any excuse. I don't think there's any reason for poor behaviour.
Yeah, I've never got with a friend's ex, but like you, I have had an ex get with a close friend and pretty much destroyed the relationship.
That's awful. I don't think I could deal with that. Were you still friends with her?
Well, so it was like university. So you know what it's like your first couple of weeks at university, like you can
Dick City! No. Definitely not. That definitely didn't happen.
But like the friendships or even the romantic relationships are quite like, I don't know, you've only been friends with someone 2 months, or you've only been dating someone 2 months, but it's like they're my boyfriend because I hang out with them every day, or like she's my best friend.
Super magnified, isn't it? Because you're just on your own in this little bubble of debauchery.
So I was seeing this guy and we were exclusive, but we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend because I have commitment issues. I want the exclusivity but not the tag. So basically what happened was stuff was kind of probably to do with my commitment issues beginning to break down between us, and she was my best friend at the time and she was in the kind of flat opposite in halls. And so stuff was beginning to break down with him, and I was confiding in her and telling her all about it, and then me and him called it off. And then 2-3 days later, they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know if there was any overlap, but wait for it. Me and her had just signed a tenancy with 2 other girls to live together in second year. He was round the whole time. I had to pretend I was okay with it because also we'd signed a tenancy 4 girls and I really wanted to pull out of it, but I couldn't ask my other friend to do that. It was kind of like, I don't know whether I'd still do this, you know, now I'm a bit older, but I just pretended I was okay with it and played cool, because to kick up a fuss would have just been, I don't know, kind of embarrassing. Like, I really wanted to pull out of that flat share, but I couldn't.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's absolutely awful. And
then he cheated on her!
you lose them the way you got them, am I right?
Yeah. I actually think that he's gay now.
Really?
And she came up to me later, so they lasted the whole 3 years, like on and off. She came up to me one night in third year and said, did he used to do this to you?
Do what?
Ask you to wear a strap on.
Oh.
And I was like, no.
How would you feel if somebody did that now?
No, I wouldn't go for it.
No?
No.
I've never been in that situation, but I don't know how I'd react. I've never thought about it. It's interesting. I mean, I don't see any issue with that. But then,
asked you to wear a strap-on to bum them?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't go for it. I mean, there's lots of other exciting things you can do. And what's wrong with just a little bit of missionary with the lights off? I love it when you ask people like their favourite sexual position and everyone's like, reverse cowgirl.
Like,
no
bullshit!
one likes that.
That's fucking lies. Nobody likes reverse cowgirl. You are lying to yourself and everybody else.
Yeah, and then and then some people are like, just like a bit missionary.
It's really funny about you were saying that you had a friend and then you confided in that friend and that friend then got with your ex, because that's exactly what happened to one of my housemates. And I just think it's...
Pray tell.
Well, I can't. It's not my business to tell.
Okay.
But what I think is weird is that there's something within the female sphere where we confide in each other. Like, girls talk. Like, this is the reason why we started this podcast in the first place.
Yeah.
So girls talk to each other. They confide in each other. They, like, open up their hearts to each other. They let go of their utmost, like, fears and, like, wishes and things. But then it seems that sometimes that information is taken and used for evil. The amount of times that a friend that you've confided in has then gone and gotten with somebody, it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends, that it's just, it blows my mind. And I don't know why women do that to each other.
I don't either. It's awful. I mean, definitely in my situation, I was confiding in this girl, being like, I really like him, you know, but I'm scared. I don't want to get into a relationship this early in university because I just want to have dick every day.
That's so gross. What's really funny is that we keep making this joke and neither of us are about that life, like, at all.
Yeah, we're not. I think I confided in her and I feel like that was later used against me.
Yeah.
They had like a night when she came to me the next day and I was like, oh, I ended up staying up drinking with so-and-so and we were talking about you and like...
What?
And it's like, you were getting enough, girl!
That's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you didn't kill her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I did it thinking back. I guess you just go into like survival self-preservation mode. I mean, I tried to not be at that flat too much.
Yeah, but that self-preservation would have been not taking that lease. Like, in hindsight, that's an awful...
But I did get the biggest room. And she got the smallest, but we pulled the names out of the hat. Calm as a bitch. So Dr. Foster's got me thinking, have you ever sought revenge on a partner or a partner try and get you back because you've upset them, you've broken some hearts in your time, I'm sure?
I don't think I've ever sought revenge. I don't know if anyone's tried to seek revenge on me.
Because I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, it didn't work. Ha! But I haven't actually sought revenge on anybody, but I have wanted to. And you know, when you think and you find yourself like thinking like the worst things about these people, and you're just like, what I would do to push you in front of a bus. Like, you know, and like really vile things. And then I felt bad for thinking that. And I felt like an awful person for thinking that. But then it's like, they hurt me. If somebody hurts you, you want them to feel the pain, the same pain that you felt. And I think this goes back to the curse of the human. I was listening to a TED talk and they said that the curse of a human is the fact that you're going to die and we know it. So it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, but not being fulfilled. And so you're also always thinking about, you want them to hurt like you've hurt, but then you hate yourself for wanting bad things for another person because you don't think that that's okay. I just think that ends up causing more torment to your own mental health.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, I've never done anything that bad to an ex-boyfriend, but like Dr. Foster proves, the longer you cling on to something, and obviously that's easier said than done, the more it ends up destroying you. And I think I've definitely in the past been too interested in how an ex-boyfriend's new relationship is going. You know, not trying to split them up, but just like having mutual friends and asking too many questions and being too interested and like being silently delighted when stuff's going a bit badly.
Yeah.
But can I say that's about the girl that fucked me over, so...
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I think so many women are the same. And it's really weird because if you think it and you think you're on your own, but reality, every woman is trying to figure out, like, they're having a little cheeky look on Facebook or, you know, finding out that they've broken up and you're like, It's just normal. And it's weird because I think that's that, people talk about closure. I don't think it is closure. I don't think people want the story to end. They want some form of fairness, some sort of you've hurt me, so this is going to happen to you, to balance things out. And because the world doesn't work that way, we never get the closure that we actually need.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree. And like in my situation with the thing that happened at uni, I really couldn't. I think I went into self-preservation mode, and then I really couldn't get over. I just felt it was so unfair what had happened. You want answers, I think, as a girl sometimes. And so basically, I think, I was paying a bit too much interest in their relationship, but was getting on with doing my own thing and was living with a different group of friends. And then we just moved into our flat for third year. And bear in mind, I feel like I've dealt with it all pretty well. I move into my flat for third year, and my close friends catch me talking to him and, kind of having quite a heated discussion about what he'd done to upset me.
You were arguing, you were up in his face, and your finger like that girl in the club with that guy being like, you motherfucker!
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. And they just went, enough. They were like, we've just moved into a new flat for third year, like, you need to stop.
To you?
Yeah. And I'm not sure I would have. I wasn't doing anything bad. I was not over it. See, and I was too interested. No. And they went, you need to drop this.
No.
And you know what? It made me, because they were like, because if you need to stop talking to him, you need to stop being interested in the relationship. And it made me stop.
Yeah.
Thanks, girls.
Which is great. But I would have let you go for a little bit longer because he deserves it. He deserves some shit.
I think they let me go at it like a good couple of times.
Okay, good. But you said that you want answers. But do you really? I don't know if we do want answers, because it doesn't matter what answer we get. There'll always be another question.
Yeah, in that situation, I wanted to know whether there was like any cheating involved, whether there was an overlap. That was the question that I was really wanting to get the answer to, and I never got it.
Exactly, but then even if you did get a no, then you'd be like, are you sure? Because X, Y, Z. But then if you're a yes, you'd be like, how could you do that? Why did you do that? How was it good? You're never going to have all the answers you need. Yeah. So this is what I mean, that it's not actually the closure that you want in saying you like want answers. You don't. You want the information, but it doesn't matter how much information you get, you're still going to feel the same and still want more. So what you actually do want is you want that person to feel like you felt.
Yeah. I don't know what in a normal situation without your friends giving you an ultimatum, like, is it just time? Like, what?
Well, what you do is you headbutt him and you carry on with your life. No, I'm joking, don't do that.
I still had access to his Facebook account. Why are you using my computer? And when I found out that they were dating a couple of days afterwards, I changed his profile picture to a picture of Prince Albert piercing.
Ew, that's so gross.
Oh, come on, small victories. Let me.
Bravo, Helen, bravo.
That was the worst I did.
I mean, you could have messaged his mother.
Dr. Foster, she ruins his life.
No, he ruined his life.
No, I think she ruins his life. No. She convinces Amy, if that's her name, that like he's obsessed with her.
How much have you ever wanted to do that? I think that was perfect. To be like, when you see one of your exes with somebody new and you're like, oh, he does that because I did that, because I liked it. And then to be able to go and be like, ha, see, that's because of me, instead of just thinking it in your head.
Yeah, but like, I'm surprised it worked.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
I'm surprised she's like, get up and go. Oh my God, I love the dad when he's like, I've had this all prepared for the day, you fuck up. Like, yes, dad. So Renee, I'm feeling like I've kind of lost your attention a little bit because your phone is buzzing. What's that on your phone?
Buzzing. I've got one little notification. From
oh, come on.
From Tinder.
New guy, old guy? As in not age. Whether you've spoken to them before.
He's I don't know. Newish, maybe.
Let's see if he asks you your dress size. So everyone, if you're just listening to this episode, you should listen to last week's episode because we talk about what's wrong. Well, when did dating become such a meat market?
Yeah.
And I can't jam it all in for you here, so you're going to have to listen to last week's.
So basically...
Read the message.
I'm not going to...
Oh, you don't want to read the message?
I'm not going to read it out because that's rude, but he's actually really nice. He hasn't asked me for my dress size or how big my boobs are, but he knows I've got a bit of a cold and says that he hopes I feel better soon.
That's nice.
And that means basically we're going to get married.
So on that note, I think it's over and out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to our second episode. So you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, all the good stuff. If you subscribe, we'd really, really appreciate it. And if you didn't like it, give it to a friend who will.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow on the socials at No Sex Pod on Twitter. Just let us know what you think, because this is a discussion. This is what when we started this, it was to have not only a discussion with us, but with other women, because we feel that if we start talking to each other more, even though women do talk, but we tend to just talk to our little pockets of friends, if we spoke publicly about these things, then we realise we have a lot more in common than we think. And we've shared a lot of the same experiences.
Yeah, so we work together. I feel like we haven't explained that.
Yeah, we're desk buddies. And everybody hates us because we're always talking about vaginas.
Yeah, so someone we work with was claiming that they made up the name for this podcast. And then their friend was backing them up. And I said, but how would you have made up the name? You don't know that we're not having sex. And then the other guy chimed in like, it's all you two talk about. It's an open plan office.
So now we're bringing it to you. You're welcome.
Love you lots. Bye.